The bacterial DNA and that means the DNA of E. coli 2 is a circular structure, and DNA replication means polymerization of nucleotides, because a DNA strand is a polymer of several nucleotides. So one nucleotide is added to the pre-existing nucleotide, and then further one is added. This way the strand elongates. So DNA replication involves polymerization, and this act of polymerization is done by the enzymes DNA polymerase. The enzyme that polymerize, that means that adds nucleotides to the pre-existing DNA, that is called polymerase. And three types of DNA polymerase are present: polymerase 1, 2 and polymerase 3. And DNA replication, these are the salient features of DNA replication, especially in bacterial cells. I am talking about bacterial replication in bacterial cells, and your syllabus also specifies this, because the replication in the bacterial cell is best understood, though many part of this process is yet to be understood. There are some more questions which are not answered yet. However, replication starts with a process that may be called initiation, the initiation of replication, and then it is elongation of the DNA strand, and then termination. So it has three parts. The process of replication has three stages: first initiation, then elongation, and finally termination. For initiation, some enzymes, enzyme complex are responsible, and for elongation, termination, other enzymes, and the same enzymes also that are required in initiation are responsible. So DNA of E. coli requires more than one polymerase, and Arthur Kornberg discovered polymerase 1, for which he was awarded the Nobel Prize. The DNA polymerase 1 is primarily utilized in filling in small DNA segments during replication and repair process. DNA polymerase 2 can serve as an alternative repair polymerase. It can also replicate DNA if the template is damaged, and DNA polymerase 3 It is the primary polymerase enzyme during normal DNA replication. That means major function of DNA replication is performed by DNA polymerase III. In the simplest model of DNA replication, new nucleotides would be simultaneously added according to the rules of complementarity. First, two strands are separated, two DNA strands. DNA is a double helix, it has two strands. The two strands are separated. It's a double helix, and the helix is separated by an enzyme called helicase. Separation of the two strands means the hydrogen bonds are broken. The hydrogen bonds are very weak, non-covalent bonds, and I have told you in one of my previous classes what hydrogen bond is. I have tried to make you understand through a video. These hydrogen bonds are numerous in a DNA strand. Actually, they are very weak, and because of their number, because of their numerous number, the total strength of the hydrogen bond is very high, and so the bonds had to be broken. And if it is broken at a point where GC sequences are present, means GC means there are triple hydrogen bonds between the two bases. So it will be difficult to unwind, to separate the strands, thermodynamically difficult because of the presence of three hydrogen bonds. But if 80 sequences are present at a certain point, it will be easier for the enzyme to separate the two strands, breaking the double hydrogen bonds, and it is thermodynamically more easy. Hence, at the point of origin of replication, in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes, 80, this type of sequence is found mainly, and the separation of the two strands at this point is brought about by helicase, an enzyme that breaks the bond, breaks the helix, that is helicase. In case of bacteria, we are studying E. coli. In case of E. coli, there is a single point of origin of replication because its DNA is not very long, and because of this short DNA strand, though having no open end, though joined end to end, it has only this single circular DNA molecule has only 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 nucleotide pairs. The length of a DNA is measured by base pairs. Suppose 80, 80, 80. This DNA fragment, the length of this DNA fragment will be called 3 base pairs. So there are 4.6 into 10 to the power 6 nucleotide pairs, means base pairs, in the single circular DNA molecule of E. coli. That means it is very small in comparison to the eukaryote DNAs, especially the DNAs of human beings. And in case of human beings we find, or in case of other organisms, other eukaryotic organisms, where length of the total DNA is very high. I told you that the length of the total DNA in a cell is about 2 meters. However, for the replication of this long DNA, multiple points of origin are to be present in every DNA strand, in every DNA helix. But in case of bacteria, only single point of origin is present, and here the point of origin is called ORI, ORI, all small letters, and in print they are in italics. ORI, then capital C, no space, ORI C. This is a gene where origin of replication or the initiation of replication starts. This part of the DNA consists of 245 base pairs. I told you that the length of a DNA is measured by base pairs. However, this part is conserved among bacteria. Conserved means is fixed. The general arrangement of the conserved sequences is given in a diagram. I will present it to you for your understanding, and at the end of this audio I shall also present you a video where I shall show you how it takes place. But before that, I have to discuss the nature of different enzymes, the nature of the names of different enzymes, etc. There are three repeats of a 13 base pair sequence on this part of the DNA. 3 repeats, I mean 13 base pair sequences are repeated. GA, TC, TN, TT, N, TT, TT. This is a consensus sequence. 13 base pair sequences are there. You look at the diagram, it will help you understand. And there are also 4 repeats of a 9 base pair sequence at a distance. And those 9 base pairs are TT. T means thymine, TT, A means adenine, TT, A, T, C, C, A, C, A. You must learn it by heart. TT, AT, CC, A, C, A. This 9 base pair sequence is repeated 4 times. And here, where the 9 base pair sequences are repeatedly found on the length of the DNA,